This thing is just almighty, all powerful, tons of power. I mean, this is just way too fast for public roads. Hey everyone, welcome to this 2022 Porsche Cayenne GTS brought to us by New England Exotic and Supreme Rentals out of Manchester, New Hampshire. Big thank you to them for lending me this car for the review. Definitely check out their sites and socials, which will be in the description of this video. Anyways, before we get this monster out on the road, let's go take a quick walk around and see what this thing's about. So this third gen Cayenne GTS is going away. As of 2026 onward, Porsche has only announced an electric Cayenne, which is fairly disappointing. Powering this GTS is a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 making 453 horsepower, 457 pound-feet of torque. So this thing is absolutely quick. 0 to 60 is 4.2 seconds. And as you can see, it has some aggressive styling as well. I mean, we have the whole black grille and fascia here. We have these beautiful LED running lights. Side profile is quite good as well. We have these 21-inch Spyder RS rims, red painted Porsche brake calipers, and of course our GTS logo there on the side door. Then in the back, we have Cayenne GTS in black. We have this blacked out LED taillight, which is absolutely beautiful. And if you can notice, there's also Porsche written into that too. Then this one has the sport exhaust, which the Cayenne comes in two variants, the SUV and the Coupe, which we have here today. The Coupe does lose about an inch from the roof line in the back, but it also gains about an inch width. And coming standard on these Cayenne GTSs is this Sport Chrono package, which comes with this exhaust, those wheels, and a sport design package as well. And then so in this trunk space, we do have lots of room. These seats fold down, which is great, providing access to the cabin. You can get a ladder in there, no problem. We also have load height buttons, so this can lower the back. So if you're, bringing a lot of mulch back here, you can just kind of get that in a lot easier. And one quick secret here for this Cayenne GTS with this exhaust tips on the side, it doesn't have a central exhaust, so you could actually get a towing package on this thing. Tows up to 7,700 pounds. So it did just start snowing here in Merrimack, New Hampshire, which is kind of funny. But before we get out on the road, I just wanted to show you this massive 4-liter V8, twin turbocharged. Of course, you really can't see much with this cover over the engine, but just wanted to check out the bay. And then versus the Macan, where it kind of has the hood that goes over the headlights, we just kind of have cutouts here. Sitting behind myself in this back seat, I actually have tons of room. I was kind of concerned with the height back here with these slopey SUVs. But yeah, this one has lots of room back here. I have about 5 or 6 inches in front of me. Sitting behind myself, I'm 5'9". And then for headroom, there is a little bit of a compromise if I lean all the way back, but my top of the head does not touch the headliner whatsoever. And so this fixed glass brings a lot of light into the cabin. There are two options for the roof of this Cayenne. You can't get a sunroof that opens, unfortunately, but you can either have the fixed glass roof, which we have here today, or you can get a carbon fiber roof, which saves you a little bit of weight. And then down here we have HVAC. We don't have any sort of controls, which I'm a little disappointed about, but we do have a 12-volt and some USB-C charging here. So from this front seat, you have lots of things to look at. The 2025 Cayenne GTSs also come with an additional screen over on the passenger side, which I'm actually kind of glad we don't have that because this is enough screens for me. We have a small screen on the left-hand side of our gauge cluster, another one on the right-hand side of our gauge cluster, and then, of course, we just have in the middle an analog tachometer, which is quite lovely to look at. We have the ability to customize our view on the left-hand side. You can even pop up the built-in navigation, which is pretty cool. And then on the right-hand side, you have things such as tire pressure, vehicle temperatures, and, of course, our trip. And this is probably my favorite view, shows the map of the surrounding area. And last but not least, we actually have night view assist. This is night vision in your Cayenne GTS. Pretty crazy, but with a $150,000 brand new price tag, roughly, with options. I mean, these things can probably go up towards 200, But yeah, I mean, night vision, pretty rad. And then on our infotainment screen, we have a couple different options. We can see vehicle information here, which shows our drive modes, fully customizable. We're currently in Sport Plus. And then here you have lots of driving assistance, such as lane keep, lane change assist, auto braking and whatnot. And this thing just is constantly kind of interrupting me here. And then inside here we have ambient lighting. You can change the color there. We're currently on poppy red. For driver's seat and passenger seat, you have heating balance of where that heated seat is distributed. And then, of course, on the passenger seat, you can adjust that, change how this is adjusted. Say someone left it too far forward or too far back, you can do that, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, we have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so feel free to leave your phone in your pocket. But with that being said, let's get out on the road and see what this thing is about. So as we make our way out of the outlets, I can definitely tell that the Sport Plus is a little rough at lower speeds. And then Sport kind of fixes it a little bit, making that transmission tuning a little less rough, so it's not holding a low gear. As far as this interior goes, we have a leather-wrapped steering wheel. We have leather on the top of our dashboard too, the side of our door cards, and of course Alcantara up on our headliner. These seats are quite plush too, but hold you in. They have a lot of good side bolstering. Honestly, these seats are just absolutely fantastic, and Porsche is just known to get their ergonomics right. So of course we have paddle shifters, and we have this 8-speed Tiptronic automatic. Some of you Porsche nerds might be disappointed to know that this is not a PDK. However, it's quite good anyways. The shifts are still snappy. They might not be as quick as that PDK would be, but you gotta save some money somewhere, right? And I mean, this thing just sounds absolutely fantastic. We're in sport mode. Gonna kick it into Sport Plus now. Some good merging power. All right, and so now that we're on the highway, let's kick it into normal mode and just kind of see how this thing behaves at highway speeds. So it's fairly quiet in here. I will say that there is a little more wind noise than I would expect in a car at this price point, but it's smooth. You get almost no sense of speed from the driver's seat. This thing is absolutely confidence inspiring. It's comfortable, and you could take this thing on road trips no problem. We have ample room for our legs. These door cards don't get in your way too much, as well as this infotainment stack. I will say I do like having all sorts of buttons and whatnot here, but the haptic touch ones I'm not a huge fan of. But I guess it's better than burying everything in your infotainment screen instead, right? At least you don't really have to look for things. Once you have a couple days with this car, you'll know where all sorts of buttons are. You'll be able to adjust things on the fly really quickly and easily without getting yourself distracted with burying through menus in your infotainment screen. So in normal mode, this car just behaves like a car. I mean, it behaves like a normal base Cayenne. I mean, you could tell that this thing is still very luxurious inside. It's comfortable. The suspension is very soft in this normal mode too. It really absorbs harsh bumps. And it just feels like a regular car. You wouldn't even know that just a moment ago I was in Sport Plus and this exhaust was, basically terrorizing the neighborhood as I drove by everybody. I mean, this thing is absolutely loud on the outside. And honestly, I would roll my windows down in the summer and kind of just listen to this exhaust all day. I wouldn't even need these Bose premium audio. One concern some people have with these slopey coupe SUVs is visibility. We do have these gigantic mirrors with blind spot monitoring. We have plenty of visibility out the front. My one concern though is the C-pillar. You can't see anything between that small rear windshield and of course these giant C-pillars, and that's kind of where your visibility lacks. So of course this Cayenne does have launch control. We won't be testing it out today, but we can give it a little bit of a go from a stop here. This thing is just almighty, all powerful, tons of power. I mean, this is just way too fast for public roads, and this thing would be an absolute track or canyon monster where you could, basically daily this thing, bring it on long road trips, maybe to the tail of the dragon down in Georgia and Tennessee, and then drive it, 1,000 miles back up here to New Hampshire, and, basically it just does everything. These Cayenne GTSs are really set up to do that. They're very sporty and nimble and feel light, even though they're about 5,000 pounds and have all-wheel drive and this monster V8 up front. They still just kind of feel very controllable, planted, and agile, which is great. And honestly, this is probably the best steering I've ever had inside an SUV. There's basically no play in it whatsoever. You really feel where those tires are pointed, and it's just absolutely fantastic to drive. So between the X6M, the RSQ8, the AMG GLE 53, I would say that this Porsche Cayenne GTS is my personal favorite. I haven't driven those other cars, but just based on styling alone, I would give the Porsche Cayenne GTS the win. I just love how these coupe SUVs look in the rear, and I'm not usually a big fan of coupe SUVs either. Honestly, like the GLE AMG Coupe Mercedes is honestly just kind of like an egg on four wheels, but this one has a lot more of a slopey, kind of like sportback characteristic to it that I just personally love. And I know we talked a lot about the performance capabilities of this Cayenne, but it's also just phenomenally comfortable. We have dual climate control up here in the front. We have heated seats. We of course have memory for both me and the front passenger. We have ample room in those back seats. And even with the coupe version instead of the SUV version, you have plenty of room. People who are over 6 feet will still fit back there, no problem. I would say like 6'2", 6'3" is probably the cutoff. And then you also have ample room in the trunk too. You're compromising about 7 cubic feet between that and the SUV, but that's all right. I mean, unless you're really kind of in need of that extra storage, you can go with this coupe, and honestly, it's a much better looking vehicle. All right, before we go, let's listen to this exhaust with our window down. Let's see if we can hear it at all. Do some downshifts. You get a lot of pops, burbles, crackles, you could even call them. And then just tons of straight line speed. I mean, this thing is absolutely ridiculous. You could get yourself carried away, get some speeding tickets really easily in this Cayenne GTS. With that being said, I wanted to thank New England Exotic and Supreme Rentals for letting me have a go. This is going to be a great addition to their already stacked lineup with the C8, the Porsche 911, the Cybertruck, and the Boxster, just to name a few. So definitely check out their site. Give them a ring for your rental needs here in Manchester, New Hampshire. They also deliver to the airport, which is really convenient. And I mean, that airport security, if no one's ever gone through there, it's like 6 minutes in and out. It's great. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time on Auto Joe. Bye-bye.